Good morning, countrymen and women. My name is Prince Chanda, aka Headliner. I have noticed with dismay that today the UPND seems to have sponsored a lot of people to go to radio station, TV station, to analyze an innocent statement of caution that was said by the former president of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Lungu, where he said the police must stop the behavior of hurting the Zambian people who are already being hurt with so many hardships. If they continue behaving like that, they might create a situation that might make Mr. Hichilema to fail to reach 2026. This is simple. It will be interesting because we know that these discussions precede something else. We know. But I wish to remind the UPND regime, the reporters that are entertaining them, the journalists so to say, and the state institutions that are watching UPND perpetrate anarchy in this country. I know that a lot of people in many institutions have been fired, but there are institutions that can never lose their history, their records in this country. President Hichilema, when he was in opposition, did not play clean politics. President Hichilema, in many instances, he threatened the security of this country, and he was late because it was more important to preserve the peace of the country than to go for an individual who is excited and politicking in any manner that they want to politic. Why was Nakachinda arrested? That is, he alleged that there were some pre-marked ballot papers. Chipenzi, who is at ECZ, is on record many times having claimed, while the UPN was in opposition, of such things like pre-marked ballot papers. Kungo was murdered because of such allegations. President Hichilema himself in person, Gary Nkombo and many people would allege that they were ballot papers. They would arrest people on account that they are ballot papers. The law did not go for the one that was politicking. The law wanted to go for the one who would have had what they were alleging. If there was nothing, then the one that would have alleged would have been considered to have been politicking. This is the UPND today that wants to tell us that for President Lungu to say, if the police do not stop what they are doing, they are going to create a situation that will be very volatile for Mr. President who is in power today to reach 2026. It is very clear what the intentions of that statement are. It's a caution to the Zambia police. The Zambia police do not vote for the government of the day. When they are irritated with the regime, they begin to do things outside the law. Today we have a police IG, deputy IG, who is in prison for the pension she worked for as a hard worker and invested in transportation. A kind of officer that this nation needed, even in this current situation, a professional lawyer, is in prison for the business he started with the pension she acquired. What about that police officer who is breaking the law? What makes them think that Mr. Hichilema is going to go forever in that state house? What makes the state institution to think that all this anarchy that they are tolerating is going to end well if the people get agitated? These are statements that we should be analyzing. Why should the police behave in the manner they behaved? That should be the subject of analysis. What are the police pushing? That should be the analysis. What are the consequences of police action? That should be analysis. The president has been perpetrating tribal remarks, hate speech, he himself. That is what should be analyzed. If other people, other tribes, feels they are facing existential threats, what are they supposed to do? Those are the things you're supposed to be analyzing. If particular tribes are being maligned, they are being spoken ill of, they are being arrested on account of who they are. Those are the analysis that a sound state institution must be analyzing. Zambia police is supposed to be analyzing that. And many other institutions. Today, you want to sit and analyze. How many times did President Hichilema allege that President Lungu must go for an early election? President Lungu must step down. No, people must rise and demand to go for an early election because President Lungu has failed. How many times did he do that? President Hichilema, with his mouth, alleged that Edgar Lungu was creating a militia when he was in opposition. Do you know what crime that is, according to the State Security Act, to allege that a sitting president is creating a militia? Do you know what crime that is? You think Edgar Lungu, as a lawyer, didn't understand to what extent that statement went? UPND through Watchdog and Koswe were peddling lies that vowed and finger with Edgar Lungu with their militias. They have ordered weapons from Russia, and the ship is docking somewhere, maybe in South Africa. It's on the waters, coming here bringing arms in order that they stop the elections and cause mayhem in the country. Do you understand what that meant? You, a police officer who's today being used to cause more anarchy in this country, do you understand what those statements meant? The state institutions at that time are the patriots who understood their role. There are things certain institutions must stop without getting consent from the president. They must go direct to the perpetrators of such nonsense and tell them off and give them the reason why they should not behave in the way they are behaving. There are institutions that should be able to go to the radio station and be able to tell people what you are perpetrating here is anarchy. We understand what is supposed to be done in this country, and it's not being done. Why is it not being done? Why are you creating anarchy in this country as a UPND government? Who was arrested for alleging toward the election that Edgar Lungu has got a militia and they are bringing weapons? Do you know what that means? It meant that a militia is an illegal army that is meant to fight the legitimate army. Who arrested Hichilema or those guys in the watchdog over those allegations? Who arrested President Hichilema when he said that Edgar Lungu is causing anarchy? When he said that we should go for an early election because Edgar Lungu has failed? Who arrested him? Who analyzed that statement? Now the former head of state is giving you counsel as police. You want to start analyzing that and give Mr. Hichilema credence to try and start thinking that Edgar Lungu is planning something against him? You still can't see that the country is not okay. The country is injured. You can't see that. At what extent will you understand caution for what it is? At what extent? What language should we use to tell you to say stop perpetrating anarchy? You are causing a problem in this country. What should we say to tell you that you are threatening the security of this country? Tell us the language you should use. This is nonsense. And everyone who is not stopping this is going to face problems. This is nonsense. Radio station must not be used to analyze nonsense when they're supposed to be analyzing important things. That statement was clear. The police tear gassed innocent people at a supermarket. The people went to see their Secretary General. It is wrong and it is illegal for a police officer to detain someone and begin to move them in the middle of the night without the lawyers and the families. It is illegal. That's abduction. So why do you want to legitimize the criminality in this country? What makes UPN so special that you can create a scenario that is threatening the security of the country and you get away with it? It's very unfortunate that we should even be talking like this. Everything in this country is not working. Jack Mimbu and his friends went and removed the office bearers from the Patriotic Front illegally. You tolerate that criminality. And you think you are free to do that at will. And you think we are stupid not to see what you are doing. This is an appeal to whoever it matters. The discussion today over the statement that President Lungu issued is a recipe for anarchy. It actually gives legitimacy to what was being asked as a caution. It must be stopped, and Tawafawan and whoever they are sponsoring to go and create that scenario on radio station must be cautioned and warned to abandon that mission. This is an advice to everyone that it matters. Leaving Goma as a political advisor to the president. Don't get too excited, my brother. You've got to understand that this country will live beyond you and beyond Mr. Hichilema. Leaving Goma, I'm addressing you because you are the political advisor to the president. This nonsense you must stop.